All right, people. You know, living for Christ, you can go to a lot of rebellious houses. A lot of them for God to try to save souls. I know the Bible's kind of confusing. Don't keep company with them. Don't keep company with them. Messengers don't keep company with people. They tell people what needs to be said. You do your mission. And the thing is, it don't make sense to the unlearned and the unskilled. It don't. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people, when they get a light to God, they're going to try to rush out there, or they're going to rush out there too fast. One thing about it, man, a lot of them ain't led in the spirit. A lot of them been led by something else. You understand? Who am I to judge? People love to say that. Who am I to judge? Who are you not to judge? Behold, the judge stands at the door. You work for God. You work for God, don't you? Don't you work for God? You mean to tell me God is not going to use you? Don't you know we would judge the angels? Don't you know that? So you mean to tell me we can judge angels? That we would judge, the saints would judge angels, but we can't judge amongst each other? He said, why go to the courts? You understand? Can't you, ain't there somebody smart around you to come to amends among each other? Look at the world we live in. All these men and women of God running straight to the courts. Running straight to, I can see if you get in a car accident or something like that and things like that. You got no choice. But some things you can overlook. Even that you can overlook. But you know, it's a little different when it causes a car accident. But a lot of little petty matters. Have y'all watched these court systems? These court shows? You'll be surprised what people go to court over. The dumbest things. But you know why people run into the court so much? Because they're not running to the men and women of God. You see, this all has happened over time. Why God always called them a rebellious house, right? I don't think y'all understand. When Samuel was the prophet of the Lord, right? The people wanted to be just like every other nation. And yet we still want to be just like every other nation. We still want to covet and be like others. Set us up a king. Samuel was heated. He was like, what? You know the Lord reigns over us, right? But the Lord said, don't worry. I'll give him a king. And he told him what's going to happen when you get that king. You see, it's an old saying. Be careful what you wish for. Well, I don't believe in wishes. Well, I'm going to change it a little bit. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you pray for. Because God will give it to you. To prove a point. To prove a point. They wanted a king so bad because everybody else had kings. And they knew the Lord delivered them and watched over them. But they still wanted a king because everybody else. Why he always called them? They were rebelling against God for a long time. And they still are. We still are as a whole. Are still rebelling against God. When we go against him, when we trust in other people more than we trust in him, all those things are rebellion. When we don't say what we need to say, that's rebellion. You understand? You're trying to get to a point where you don't care what you say in regards to the truth to anybody. If God said in your mouth to say it, but I'm telling you, the truth is, it's not going to be like you think now. Sometimes your mouth is going to cleave, your tongue going to cleave to the roof of your mouth. You're going to be stuck like this. You're going to be wanting to say something. You're going to be wanting to say something. And then sometimes that voice, that spirit going to be like, not right now. Not right now. Because God want to see if you're going to do how he tell you to do. You know, sometimes you ain't even got a reproof. Sometimes you got to pray for them and get a prayer time to work. And if the prayer don't work, or if the prayer is not coming to fruition, you might have to speak. You know, it's not always the same, people. But the mission is still the same. You are in the process of gathering souls. Are you trying to make people rich? Are you trying to make people billionaires? That's what it seems like most of them are trying to do now. It's all about riches. It's not about the glory of God. Once you realize all this stuff is going to be gone, Piggly Wiggly, Family Dollar, Shell Station, Exxon, Athlete's Foot, Foot Locker, hair and nails, McDonald's, all this stuff. People want more and more money so they can buy. Do y'all understand what the market of beast is all about? You know how the enemy is going to get most people? Through buying and selling. You know, we got so many people in the world right now that depend on the government for everything. I got to get food stamps. I believe some people deserve food stamps, but some people don't. How can you say that? Because it's true. Some people sell all theirs. Some people lie about getting food stamps. You know why? We didn't come so dependent on the government for everything. And that's exactly how the Antichrist gonna come in, as a savior. He's gonna come in, and you gotta receive this in order to buy and sell. And people love to buy and sell. They love it. They love to buy and sell. What he told his disciples, don't worry about food. I got you. Now think about all the people who, in the last days, who give their life over to the beast. Now think about the instructions he gave his disciples. Some people are going to receive you in and you're going to eat without having a mark. Or no telling how God's going to provide for you. But he's going to provide for you. One thing we got to realize is not about what you can buy. Freely I have given to you, freely you shall receive. You see, a lot of people these days are picky. We got picky Christians. I don't eat that. You'll starve. You'll starve. I don't want that. You'll starve. Eat what's set before you. I done watched this in action in my own life so many times. When I'm where I'm supposed to be, like I go to people's house not even expecting a meal, don't even want nothing to eat, because I'm the type that read the Bible. He said, don't you have your own houses to eat at? But he said the workman is worthy of his meat. You'll find yourself in situations where you're getting fed and didn't have to spend a dime. Accept it. You understand? Accept it. Why are you being fed with food? Because you feed many with the word. Do you understand? Even his prophets, when they were thrown in jail and thrown in prison, somebody always came and brought them something to eat. Because God always got somebody there to provide for you, because you work for him. God's going to take care of whoever worked for him. You see, what the thing is, a lot of these preachers and stuff like that, they're getting taken care of by their own hands, by their own bellies. That's it. And call it the work of God. I still tell people that sermon I heard from the preacher the church where I gave my life over to God at, and I listened to a video. He said, God wants you to have a bunch of houses and new clothes, but you got to get out there and work 4 or 5 jobs. Huh? God wants you to work that hard. No, God wants you to get out there and work for him. You can get that Dooney purse. You can get that Coach purse. You can get that Louis Vuitton. You can get that Gucci. You know why he's talking like that? Because that's what he wants. Gucci, Coach, Michael Kors. He enticing people through their own lust, through his own lust. So he likes stuff like that. So he's going to encourage you to go out there and get it too. Because the more you work hard to get more, you're going to put more into that bank account of his, that tax-free account. And he's going to buy all the new clothes with your money. And you're going to sit there and figure that's how it's supposed to be. How many times I see people post with a new outfit on, but like, I'm so blessed. Look how God has blessed me. Got the new Jordans on and stuff like that. Wow. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Jordans. It's about idolized goods. Name brands. Little children, keep yourself from idols. That's how a lot of people look at their blessings. That's how a lot of people count their blessings. What about the souls you reach? Count that blessing. How about waking up in the morning? Count that blessing. How about still walking and talking? Count that blessing. You understand? None of God's prophets were rich, but they were provided for. You know, everybody like to use Solomon and Joseph, but you look at the whole big picture of it. David was in the process of becoming a king over a kingdom that they asked for. So he had to start it off right. That's why David had so many riches. And Solomon too. They were over a kingdom. You understand? A lot of y'all want to be kings and queens in this earth. But the Bible tells us about we're here to serve. Let the first be last. You understand? You see, Jesus fed his disciples at the Last Supper. He washed their feet. How many kings do that? The word, he's just like he said, be like the Pharisees and the scribes. They love the uppermost seats. They love greetings in the marketplace. They love these things. That's what a lot of people are after. They're trying to build their name. They're trying to become idols. Rebellious house. Do you understand what rebellion is always about? Esteeming oneself. How did Lucifer rebel? Try to excel himself or put himself on a level with God. Make himself a God. That's what he used to beguile Adam and Eve in the garden. You would be like us. You'd be like gods. He used that trick, and he still uses it today. But you know what, though? He got his messengers. And they waking up. They're being renewed in the spirit. And they're attacking these folks. He said, lay on your left side. Lay on your right side. He told them to make a cake with cow dung and feed it to them. Wow. That's disgusting. Why would God do that? They already defile. By what? He defile stuff. It all serves a purpose. It is what it is. What's that movie we watched? The Help. You just ate my... Oh, Lord have mercy. You just ate my shit. That's what she told us. Wow. Disgusting. You're so full of it. How about you eat it? Oh, man. Y'all don't understand me. Y'all don't understand God. I'm not perfect, man. I don't claim to be. I got some flaws at the wazoo. You understand? I'm trying to get God to work on me. And he will. But even a lot of people don't understand this. You work through your flaws. A lot of people is like this. I can't talk about God in the state I am. So when will you be able to talk about him? If you're waiting to become perfect, the only way you're going to be perfect or be made perfect is by talking about him and spreading the gospel. Does it make sense to you now? I'm not going to talk about God right now in the state I am. So when are you going to talk about him? So you choose not to spread the gospel now because you feel you ain't perfect. The Bible says, come to me as you are. Why does he say come to me as you are? Because he's going to make you who you're supposed to be. Nobody can straighten you out but God. So that means when you come to God as you are, he's going to start working a process in you and start changing you and grafting you in, purging you, correcting you, fixing you. I just passed by the cannon on Government Street, painted as a rainbow. Stuff like that irked me. I know they ain't doing it for God. It should, when you know the truth. And you know what it's all about. That's crazy. Rebellious house. Rebellion. Why did they choose the rainbow of all things? I'm just trying to figure that out. Why? Because they want to distort the reality of the truth. So whenever kids see a rainbow, the first thing gonna come to their mind is pride. And what did God say about the children of pride? What did he say about them? Whether it be black pride, white pride, gay pride, shrimp pride. It don't matter. Pride destroys you. I got pride too. Pride in the Lord. I'm proud of him. For all that he's done for us. All the inner workings that he do. You should too. So if you're proud of God and you love him, you keep his words. You spread his words. You keep his commands. You tell people about him. You tell people the ins and outs. How would they know? How would they know if you keep your mouth shut? You know, it's an old saying. You may be the only gospel somebody ever hears. You understand? It goes for women too. It goes for women too. But stay in order. Y'all ain't hearing me. Stay in order though. Stay in order. Stay in the order. Because where disorder is, there's every work and confusion. Stay in order. Realize what you're supposed to be doing as a woman of God. Ask God to reveal to you what your work is. Just remember, your work has got it lined up with Scripture. I'm not against women, by no means. I'm against order. I mean, I'm with order. I'm against disorder. You understand? Why am I against disorder? Because God is. Why am I against rebellion? Because God is. So as you grow with God, you're going to be against everything that God is against. Why? Because that's how it works. If you operate in the Spirit, you're going to be against. You're going to abhor what God abhors. You can't say you love God and don't dislike what he disliked. Do you understand? You can't say you love God and don't dislike it. Well, you see, the world has turned dislike into hate. Or like, we hate people. God say love everybody. You love people and love to correct them. You don't tell them things because you don't love them. You understand? Just like you got a child that's a thief. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. It's okay, baby. What's okay? It's okay for him to steal? It ain't my problem. Oh. Did you hear what I just said in Ezekiel? It is your problem. He's going to hold you accountable. It's your problem. Because you work for God. If the work for you is too strenuous, like Joshua, for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Be careful now. Beware. You sure this what you want? You sure you want to serve God? Think about it now. You sure this what you want to do? Because when you do it, you stepping into a whole new ball game. It's not like you think. Do it. But I encourage you to do so. I'm just telling you, it's not going to be easy. But it's worth it. Do you understand? It's worth it. Jesus even tell you it's not going to be easy. But it's worth it. How he tell you it ain't going to be easy? He tell you you're going to be persecuted. He tell you all these things. Wake up. and say what God tells you to say. And do what he tells you to do. If you don't want to be held responsible for other people's souls, say what needs to be said. Have a blessed one.